Hi guys, it's been a minute since you've seen my face and I've talked to you guys, but I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Anywho, I guess I should say and start out this, I don't know if this is a known thing. I don't know if other people have mentioned this or whatever. My videos are not script. I'm literally sitting down with this camera and I'm just talking to you like I'm talking to a friend. Okay? So, I do edit these a little bit, but not like professional quality here. Okay? So bear with me. But yeah, so these are just chats with a friend. That's how they go. Anyway, it is Valentine's Day weekend. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. We're having a little get together with another family, and so I'm super excited. But Tim got me these beautiful roses last night. He is a Lego king. He loves Legos, and so when he told me how long it took him to put those things together, I was kind of shocked. I was like, labor of love. Probably more effort that you've put into flower buying than you've ever had before. And they'll never die. So win for Valentine's Day. So anyway, if you hear cooing, petting in the back, that's okay. They're just playing and she's just chilling in the swing. But I wanted to give you a quick update on life back at work and how that's been going. So let's get into it. That's such a blogger thing to say. Let's get into it. Anywho, work. I came back to work. It was a Monday. It's a beautiful day. Actually, I think it was raining. Anyway, came back on a Monday. It was a chill week. We have state testing that we do at our school. And so basically it was me just making sure that my sped students complete the assessment and they are provided the accommodations that they are given. So that pretty much took the whole week. So yeah, it was a pretty chill week. I got some lesson plans done for this week and got to get more into the teaching and my small groups and pulling out and pushing into the classrooms and things like that. And that is where my heart is, and that's what I love. Getting back into work, I love what I do. I love being a teacher, and I love routine. I love just even though it's 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning to pump, but we have to be out of the door by 6:30 to be on time. It's early, but I like the okay, this is our day. This is what we're doing, that kind of thing. And that routine of life, I thrive on routine. So I've been loving that, getting back into that. Dorothy, when I'm at home with her, every day can be different because I'm feeding her every 3 to 4 hours, but when I'm with her at home, it can be some days she wakes up this at time, sometimes she wakes up this, and it kind of just depends. And so and then when she takes her nap, when she doesn't take her nap, it's not always consistent. So, but she is sleeping. Thank you, Jesus. But so going back to school, it was such a seamless transition. Tim is at home with her. He's been taking care of her. He's been sending me pictures of her, what they're up to. It's been so sweet. And so that's been really sweet to be able to watch them, be able to build that bond, because basically after a week of being home or 2 weeks of being home with her after the hospital, he had to start working. And while he's in the room with us, he's not really one providing, taking care of her the whole time. So I think she's getting more of a daddy's girl, which is really sweet. But she still loves her mama. Come on, let's be honest. So anywho, so she and him are doing great. So the transition into work has been fantastic. Truly, the kids are thriving. My big kids are thriving. So that's just, again, routine is what we need, is key for us and our family unit. I do miss her a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I miss Dorothy a lot. There are days where it's a lot stronger than other days. Obviously, you go through highs and lows, that kind of thing. So there are definitely days where it's harder, especially she's been sick the last couple of days, and that can kind of stress Tim out and stress me out. Like, we're like, okay, like, what does she need? Does she need to go to the hospital? Does she need medicine? Does she not? She's only 3 months. Like, you would think that we were new parents. We've never had children before. But so yeah, that part of it kind of gets me. I wish I could just stay home, cuddle her, make sure she's doing okay, make sure she's, getting what she needs, that kind of thing. And they say that, like, if you are, breastfeeding, feeding them on you is so much better for when they are sick, because your body, changes the makeup of the milk that you are providing for them so that it can help them recover, get what they need, the nutritions that they're lacking, all of that. And if you can't, that's okay too. Formula is formula. Fed is best. Okay? So anyway, but I wish I could be home to take care of her, if I'm being honest, okay? This is my journey, okay? So anyway, all of that to say, work has been going good. I am kind of missing her, but I'm glad that she's with her dad and that they're having so much fun, okay? Segue into the tea. The week I returned back to work, I basically had to tell them whether or not I was signing my contract for next year or not. That's kind of like a difficult place to be when you're literally just coming off of maternity leave. Like, you're not in like coming back in October or coming back in September or coming back even at the end of the year, right? Like, you're coming a week before you need to sign this contract that you need to come back. So that was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Bad timing. Can't do anything about it, right? Well, we have been praying about it, like truly praying about it. It's been a conversation since basically found out that we were pregnant. And I just kept telling myself, one day at a time, 1 year at a time, one school year at a time, right? I knew I was going to finish out last year. I'm going to finish out this year, one school year at a time. And so pretty much January, we spent the entire month just truly giving God control over our future. And not that he hasn't, but truly being like, God, where do you want us in this next season of our life? Where do you want us? What do you want for us? And yes, there are things that are the desire of our heart, but we also have to be obedient. So there's a couple of things that have popped up in this last couple of months of just things we've been hearing from God. He is with us. Obedience, abundance, and blessing. And so just these themes have just been repeating themselves. And there was a couple instances at church and in our devotion time and in our prayer time where God is like, you need to step out in faith and you need to trust me that I'm leading your family where it needs to go and that you are going to be blessed and it's going to be a double portion. Okay, God, cool. Are we going to get a raise? Are we gonna, is God gonna provide some sort of childcare for Dorothy? What could that be? And in these specific instances that both Tim and I had separately, we both felt that God was calling me to stay home with Dorothy and homeschool my children. Now, that comes with a lot. Because I love my kids and I love teaching. Homeschool is a different ballgame, okay? And I think it's gonna be fine. I'm really excited. More to come on that in next videos, but let's just lay the groundwork here. Tim struggled a lot because he knew that that's what God was telling him to do and telling us to do as a family. But that changes the dynamic of income, being at home with the kids. He's partly remote right now. So it's where do we all go? Where are we going to be? We also have a newborn baby. She's going to be she's going to be turning a year basically at the beginning of the school year, November 1st. So yeah, what is that going to look like? All these unknowns. And what I keep telling people who are kind of in shock, which rightfully so, I keep saying that God has asked us to do something. We have to be obedient. But oftentimes, when we're in a comfortable spot, when we're in a comfortable place, we're like, yes, thank you, God, for putting us in this place. We're so comfortable. Everything's going great. We are blessed. We have, things that we need, all that. And then it's like, okay, God's like, but I want you to move out of that. What? Why? Everything's great. Everything's fine. We have the money that we need. Our bills are paid. We have a little bit extra. Like, my kids are loving the school. They thrive. We can figure out the Dorothy thing. It's going to be a little bit of a, hodgepodge of situation, but let's figure it out. Right? And God's like, no, I have something else for you. Okay. And there's so many instances in the Word of God that talks about man having to trust God when the situation is perfect. Think of Abraham. He had just received a son, Isaac. Everything's great. He's received the blessing that God had promised him. And then God's like, you actually need to sacrifice him and give him back to me. What? Why? This is the blessing he promised. But obedience, right? So many other instances, it's like, and I just had another one, and I literally just had another thing because I'm reading through the beginning of the Israelites. The irony is they prayed for deliverance and to be set free from Egypt. And yet when they were taken out of that situation, right, and they were taken out, then they complained about how they wish they could go back to it. But sometimes God has to take us up out of the things that might feel comfortable that we don't realize are actually hindering us from where God has promised us, right? It might feel comfortable. It might look good. And again, I live where I work. I love the school. I know bad things, okay? But sometimes it's like, if we stayed there, if we stayed in Egypt, if we stayed in that place, would we ever get to our promised land? And the problem is we want to just end up Egypt to promised land. But that's not how this works. It's Egypt through the desert, through the wilderness, to the promised land. And here's the thing. I don't want to make the same mistake. I don't want to make the same mistake as the Israelites who, when they were in the wilderness, were disobedient and didn't follow God's direction and then had to stay even longer. And then some of them didn't even get to see the promise, right? I want to be like, okay, God, you're going to walk me through this wilderness. You're going to walk me through this sea, this wall of water that might seem impossible to get through, but you're going to part the water and you're going to make a way. You're going to provide. And so we have to have that mindset because, she was crying, Dorothy was crying, and then my husband called me. All right. So back to the whole point that I was trying to share before is that basically we have to just trust in God. We have to trust that he is going to make a way. Well, God is doing things, and hopefully we'll have a recap of the amazing things that God is doing, and it can be a testimony of our faith and our obedience. So I'm really excited to make that video. When it's going to come, I don't know, but it's coming. So anyway, so that's just kind of a recap. Homeschool, we haven't totally figured out yet because there's different ways you can go about it, and we are kind of looking at our options basically. And so again, more videos to come on that situation and what life looks like being a homeschool family now. So get excited. It's not going to be a homeschool content page, just putting that out there. Okay. I might share some things, but it's not going to be all homeschool. But anyway, so yeah, that's been the update of recently. So, also update, it's snowed a bunch, so it's beautiful. And I can't wait to go out and play in the snow. I really hope that Dorothy gets better because we bought this a sled that little babies can sit in, and I want to pull her around in it. Oh, it's so exciting. So yeah, so that's been an update. Harvey and Tim are out this morning because they're at a basketball game. I love watching my kids play sports. It's so fun. It's kind of hard to watch your kid though play against first graders when he's a third grader. And it in my mama heart, it hurts so bad because I'm like, if I was the first grade mom, I'd be like, why is my son playing against this third grade? So it's kind of hard. And plus Dorothy hasn't been feeling good. So I kind of was like, I'm just going to stay home. And then we have stuff that we have to get ready here anyway. So, but anywho, that is our update. I'm excited about where God is taking us in this year to 2025. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. And just pray that if you're going through this season of where God is taking you out of something that you are like, you don't understand why, you're not alone. Trust him. I almost just said it and it's like, trust the process. Not my favorite cliche of words strung together, but it's so true. You have to trust. You have to trust the process that God is taking you through. And it's easier to go through it if we're being obedient. And I want to be obedient. I want to do what God has called us to do. And so anyway, pray for our family. Pray for just that we continue to just be obedient to what God is asking us to do. So have a wonderful night, wonderful day, whatever time of day you're watching this. This is how you know these are not scripted. We'll see how I edit this. I don't know how to close. I don't know how to finish these videos. Like, you know, like some people, they have like the same like, bye. Okay, bye. Love you. Okay, bye. Just adios. Have a good day. Bye.